Hey guys, and welcome to the first ever Plane Crazy Aerial Race on the ZuggyJ YouTube channel. Today we have an entire lobby full of planes that are going to be trying to complete the courses on your screen right now. There'll be 10 laps, the rules are relatively simple, but here's the big twist. The big twist is, they have fuel consumption turned on. This is an endurance race, so throughout the race you're going to see people having to respawn or maybe falling out of the sky and that stuff and having to respawn, just so they can refuel, and it's gonna be very interesting. And if you guys do enjoy, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Channel's been kind of down in the dumps. The last video we did actually did really well, but we want to keep that going, so be sure to watch the video all the way through. Subscribe to the channel, and I think we can get right into it. Alright guys, here we are at the starting line for the first ever Plane Crazy Aerial Race, and as you can see, we have some really cool jets, and then we have some stinkers, but you might be surprised, because these smaller ones, since we've done the practice runs, they've actually been the fastest ones so far, and Steamy Eggroll at the front of the pack here has actually won every practice race so far. So look out for him. All you gotta do is look at the front of the pack, and he'll probably be there. Alright guys, well, on your mark, get set, go! And the entire field should be off now. Steamy Eggroll out in the lead. Do not know who that, actually no, that red plane's out in the lead. Don't know who actually drives that. But Steamy Eggroll now has taken the lead. So if you can see on your screen right now, we only are keeping track of the person in first because there's so many laps here. It's gonna be very hard to keep track of who's in second and third as the laps go on. Steamy Eggroll though has the lead, but that red plane behind him is making up some ground. But Steamy Eggroll has won this race several times in practice, so it should be his race to win. He did make a little bit of a mistake there in the red plane, trying to go under him, trying to get into this little like S-shaped area. As you'll see, they're gonna have to go from that checkpoint to that checkpoint, and then they're gonna have to go underneath the floating island. The red plane completely disregarding the checkpoint, and that's gonna put him back. Exilir8 also disregarded the checkpoint. Exilir8, you missed a checkpoint. I'll just add 10 seconds on your time. That's a 10-second penalty. Steamy Eggroll way out in the lead now. As I expected, he is running away with the race, but you never know, because there is fuel. And as we've seen in the practice races, YRNE has better fuel consumption than Steamy Eggroll, but he's not actually as fast around the track. So we'll have to see how that goes. I also need to get out of the way of the competitors so I don't get absolutely bopped here. See, if that red plane also has good fuel consumption, they might have a chance to take on Steamy. Because Steamy, anytime now, on this lap, is probably going to run out of fuel. That, or he'll run out on the next lap. But he's going to try to come around here, go through the S's, and he will be coming out of the... what lap is this, Steamy? What lap is this? Okay, well, Steamy Eggroll here is on the third lap. This is usually where he runs out of fuel. Well, this is not where he usually runs out of fuel, but in the practice, this is where he ran out of fuel. It was on the third lap, and it almost cost him the race if it wasn't for a mistake of someone else. So, as you'll see, he'll go through the water here, and any moment now, he is going to run out of fuel and is going to have to respawn. So, we'll see what happens. In second place, right now, I don't know who's in that gray build, but I'm going to assume that gray build's on the lead lap. I'm going to count them a second right now, and maybe they'll tell me after the race. Steamy Eggroll out of fuel, and he's going to have to respawn, and then that means YRNE is your new leader, unless that gray plane is on the lead lap. But since they don't have a mic on Discord, they're not going to be able to tell me. Well, judging from the handling there, actually, they're probably not on the lead lap. YRNE, though, starting to run away with this, but as you know, Steamy Eggroll is a much faster plane. Well, Steamy Eggroll is going to have to try to make up some ground here as YRNE is running around. I'm on the fifth lap here. Wait, this is the fourth or fifth? No, this is the fourth lap. I'm going to keep track this time. It's the fourth lap. Okay, it's the fourth lap. I keep getting him shoot up on the laps because I'm so focused on the actual, like, watching the racing that I kind of forget what lap it is. YRNE gonna try to come down here and not make a mistake again, and he makes a mistake around the section, and he misses the checkpoint. He's gonna have to go back for that checkpoint because he did not touch it. I guarantee that. I mean, you can skip a checkpoint if you want, but that's a 10-second penalty, and Steamy Eggroll has already come back and is already challenging him for the lead again. He's a much faster vehicle. He's going to try to overtake him on this checkpoint here, and then they're going to have to go over to the hill. YRNE barely holds the lead by maybe a length, but Steamy Eggroll is the faster plane. He's trying to make a pass, but he ran into the checkpoint. That's a little bit of a time loss, but there's a lot of planes in the way. There's a lot of air traffic right now, so we'll have to see how they manage that, but it looks like they're through the air traffic now, and YRNE is barely hanging on to the lead, but as you can see, Steamy Eggroll has been inching forward. Steamy Eggroll misses a checkpoint, and Steamy Eggroll completely forgot the base checkpoint existed, and that's going to be big time loss. I don't know what they were doing, but they just started flying in a straight line, and YRNE is now the leader again on the fifth lap here. Well, we're halfway through the race, and Steamy Eggroll just ran out of fuel again, and YRNE is running away with this race. I have no clue what he's going to do. He just made a huge mistake. He knows he can't make mistakes because he has bad fuel consumption. Well, we'll have to see, because now it's going to be hard to manage, and it's going to be a hard time trying to figure out what lap he's on, because now he's so far behind. But YRNE completes the 5th lap. He's on to the 6th lap, so we are halfway done with this race. Let's try to keep an eye out for Steamy Egg Roll just so we can have an idea what lap he's on. It looks like that's him over at the water. And it looks like YRNE, if he just keeps up this pace, he might actually have a chance to lap Steamy. Of course, I don't think that's actually going to happen because, as we know, Steamy is just a very fast plane, but he's making mistakes that are just very uncharacteristic of him. He was racing so well earlier this race, and he just needed to have like a very good race and just not make mistakes, and he's just made so many this race. YRNE trying to come through to complete the final checkpoint. He was close to missing that one, but he's going to get away with it this time. Looks like the rest of the pack at this point is just traffic. They're getting lapped down. And YRNE is now on this 7th lap. Steamy now, trying to get up to the water checkpoint. He is so far behind now. And that was not a good checkpoint there. YRNE, you gotta go back for that one. You flew like way under it, didn't even get close to the smoke. Well, that's gonna cost him some more time. That's another time he's done that. He's just not getting close enough to the checkpoints. And he's close, but he's flying underneath them and not touching the smoke at all, or not going around the outside. But that's going to give Steamy a chance to potentially catch up. Here we go with these guys. All right, now he is on to the 6th lap. And YRNE is going to try to come around and complete his 6th lap and try to move on to lap number 7. That was a very good S's section from him right there, because he's made several mistakes on that section. But he runs out of fuel from the looks of it? No, he's just very confused on what he's doing. And he's just losing time. I don't know what he was doing there, but all of a sudden you can see Steamy Egg Roll is starting to close the gap again. He is the only person that could potentially challenge him for first. I don't think that Red Plane's on the lead lap, and if they were, I'd like it if they'd unmute on Discord and let me know. Steamy Egg Roll coming through. He's just making mistakes. He just stops flying all of a sudden. I can't explain why he's been doing that, but he's given up a lot of ground, and Steamy is on his tail again, coming up to the water checkpoint. Mute yourself on Discord, please, and thank you. And where'd it happen to him? I don't see him anymore. I don't see YRNE, and that may mean that Steamy Egg Roll is your leader again. He might have run out of fuel. He did run out of fuel. Steamy Egg Roll is the leader. All he has to do is make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. If he needs to here, he should probably land at the airport, honestly, if he doesn't want to run out of fuel on this lap. I don't think that he's going to be able to make it several more laps. All right, well, he's going to try to go with it. He's just going to try to make the best of a situation. If he does run out of fuel, he's going to have to hope he runs out of fuel close to the airport, which is not a big time loss. But from the looks of it, he's having a slow lap here. But he is on lap number 9. But YRNE is not actually that far behind. So that means if Steamy does run out of fuel, he will be in huge trouble. I honestly don't think that Steamy has a chance to win this race. Even though he's in the lead right now, he's ahead by a checkpoint. Fuel consumption has just been eating him throughout practice and qualifying. And he keeps running into these checkpoints, which is good because he's not going to get penalized for missing one. But if he keeps running into these checkpoints, he's not carrying any momentum with him. This would be the opportunity now, but this would be the opportunity to refuel. But YRNE is right on his ass. He's just going to have to try to conserve fuel and make it another lap. I don't think he can do it, but maybe he can prove me wrong. He's going to try to come through. He needs one more lap. One more lap. Which actually, no, he's going to respawn. Not respawn. He's going to get some fuel. YRNE is the current leader, and now they're going to be on to the final lap. He's going to have to hope that YRNE makes a mistake on the final lap, because YRNE is almost ahead by a checkpoint. This is a close race between Steamy Egg Roll and YRNE. It's been a huge strategical race between the both of them. It's really just come down to mistakes and fuel consumption, which is exactly what I was hoping this race would come down to. It's a big strategy. I can't think of the word, but there's a lot of strategy that goes into this race, and we're going to have to see as we're coming down to the final few checkpoints here. Steamy trying to make up ground on YRNE. YRNE came in 4th place due to a penalty in the last PCGP, so he's trying to redeem himself by getting first here. Coming into the S's, he misses the first S, he misses the first checkpoint, and that's a huge time loss. Steamy's going to come through, hit the checkpoint, and that is probably going to spell disaster for him. All Steamy has to do is come down and land at the airport after getting this checkpoint, and he will be the winner of the first ever Plane Crazy Aerial Race, and he has done just that. And YRNE is going to come in and try to take second. All he has to do is land, and he has done it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the first ever Plane Crazy Aerial Race. Steamy Egg Roll, the person who has actually donated the most amount of money to me throughout my streams and premieres, which is really appreciated when you guys do it. He has finally won an event, and now that will be his second, I think that might be his second ever contest. No, that's his first ever contest win, but it doesn't matter. He is the winner, and, you know, that was a really close race. He had a lot of issues with fuel. He made a mistake, and I thought that would be the end for him, but YRNE missed several checkpoints and flew under them, which is, there's no smoke coming out the bottom of them. There's only smoke coming out from the side and the top. So that really cost YRNE some time. Alright, well, even though we weren't keeping track of it during the race, we were not keeping track of third place. Rain came in and took third in this race. Of course, you had Steamy Eggroll in first and Henry in second, which gave us a very good race, a very good back and forth race. And at the end of the day, like I said, it just came down to not penalties, mistakes. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said in the intro, the channel's been kind of down in the dumps, and every bit of support helps. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.